How's it going out there, American truckers? Yeah, it's Snapper here, hosting you this evening. Looking a little scruffy. Been contemplating growing a beard, so kind of letting that go to see how it looks. So far, I really don't care for it. I think it makes me look chunkier, but hey, it is what it is, right? Give it a shot a little longer and see how it comes out. As some of y'all know, I got this mic thing. It's a cord though. And I ran some tests, kind of playing it back to myself, and the best audio I could get was holding it, so I have to hold it. If I put it down, it's no different than some other videos. Alright, American truckers, this is going to be a remake of a video that some people had a hard time hearing, so I decided to remake it with my mic, and that way some other people can get the information that I had in the first video. I probably will leave the first video up. I mean, I'm not really sure yet. I'll think about it. If y'all can comment, some of y'all who have listened to my other videos, and let me know if on y'all's end this mic is working better, if you can hear me and hear me more clearly. Because I play my other videos back also. This mic has picked up my voice a little bit better, but it doesn't seem a whole lot different to me. So, but on y'all's end playing it, it might be drastically different. I don't know. Kind of let me know. Give me some feedback in the comments down below. And like always, so the video can get out there so people can see it or whatever. And if it's content you're wanting to hear, if you want to hear something different, put that in the comments, please. Hit that subscribe button down below, and you can hit the notification bell. You'll get videos anytime I post them. I got a ton of videos on here about a bunch of different things, not just Crete carriers. I've been driving, a little over a decade, so I got reviews out on companies I've driven before, stuff like that. The PeopleNet that we use now, we used to use Qualcomm. I've done a little video on that. So there's a bunch of stuff on there for y'all guys. Hopefully it helps. We are all family out here, and kind of want to bring us all together as one. We'll quit fighting with each other and bickering at each other. Stick together. We're all American truckers. Alright, so let's get to this. This is the dedicated and regional fleets that Crete has. If you work for Crete and you wondered what's out there, I'm fixing to put it out there for you. If you've thought about coming to Crete Carriers or Shaffer Trucking, both same company, Hunt Transportation as well. Hunt's the flatbed division, Shaffer is the reefer division, Crete is the dry box division. If you thought about coming to one of these companies but don't really want to do OTR, I'm fixing to give you some other options. And you can put that in there. Look, I'll tell y'all like I tell you on all my videos, if you're coming to Crete, I make pretty good money here. Oh wow, a deer just ran by. Sorry, I got ADD. I'm at the shipper I pick up here in the morning. I'm up here in Pennsylvania, and out of nowhere a deer just took off running by, so it caught my attention. That's dinner right there, man. Anyway, like I say in all my videos, if you're coming to Crete, I make plenty of money. Yeah, if you want to put my name down, that'd be great. I sure appreciate it. But you don't have to, don't feel like it's an obligation or, wow. Man, I wish I had a better camera. It's starting to get dark. There's a buck sitting on top of the hill about 15 feet, 20 feet from me, looking right at me. They got some pretty good sized deer up here in Pennsylvania. But anyway, don't feel obligated. I do make a decent living here. That's why I share it. Now you can't tell Crete where you heard it at. You heard it on YouTube. You heard it from old Snapper. But you don't have to put me down as a referral if you don't want to. If you got somebody else you'd rather use, hey, go for it. We're all family out here. And that's what it's all about. It's just getting the information out there, trying to help a driver. When I first started driving, man, I worked for the first company for 4 years. But after I left there, I bounced and I bounced. And I spent several years. I worked for little companies, big companies, medium companies. I hauled flatbed. I hauled reefer. I hauled dry box. I hauled hopper bottoms. I did oil field. I did tankers. Trying to find where I fit the best. What freight worked good for where I live and that I could make the most money doing. So I wish I'd have had somebody like myself back then that would kind of guide me along and show me all the places they worked, what they had to offer. There's other companies I promote that are good companies. Tyson Foods, I did a review on them. They're a pretty good company to work for. H&M, I just did a review on them. They're a pretty good, decent company to work for. So my purpose is to help drivers find out their niche. You instead of having to waste all the time I wasted, you can kind of live through what I did and what I went through. But anyway, let's get down here. Let's get into these fleets. First and foremost, Walmart. We have Walmart dedicated fleets. These are drivers that they drive a Crete truck, but they haul Walmart trailers, and they are assigned to a Walmart. Now, most drivers that run those fleets live in those areas. We do have drivers that just love running Walmart. They might live in Texas. We don't have any Walmarts that we do in Texas. But they might live in Texas and decide they want to run the Walmart. They like running the Walmart in Cheyenne, Wyoming. So they'll catch loads and go home for their home time, but every time they come out, they go right back because that's what they want to do. That's what they run. But we have Walmart in Cheyenne, Wyoming, North Platte, Nebraska, Paws Valley, Oklahoma, and Mankato, Minnesota. Hang on a minute. I'll roll this window up. But if you want to be home on a pretty regular basis and you want to make decent money and you live in Colorado, Wyoming, Nebraska, Oklahoma, North Dakota, South Dakota, let me think, North Texas, like north, right there on the border with Oklahoma, southern Kansas, western Arkansas. If you live in any of those areas, Minnesota, or any of the states that touch Minnesota, you can go to Walmart fleet. You'll probably get pretty good home time. I don't know exactly how their home time works, if they're home every day, every few days, or what. If you call and talk to recruiting, they can tell you more detail to that. I've helped out on the Walmart fleet, but I've never done it like regular. But if you want to be home pretty regularly, or at least get by the house pretty regularly, and let's say you live in Denver, you go work Cheyenne Walmart, you're probably going to get by the house pretty often. Because I've helped out in Cheyenne, and I was in Denver every other day, every couple of days. So that's something to keep in mind. Another fleet we have is Kellogg. Now, Kellogg is broke up into so many different sections. I think they have a Kellogg out of Dallas. I believe they have a Kellogg out of Indianapolis. So I don't know if they're doing it by all terminals or what. But the Kellogg drivers I've spoken with, they try to get them home every weekend or every other weekend. These guys run hard. They run a lot of miles. They roll on their 10 hours. They don't take longer than a 10-hour break. They are constantly in motion, and they are generally pre-planned out for their whole week. So on Monday, from the ones I've talked to, on Monday, they know what they're doing all the way till they go home again. And they run hard. So they get a lot of miles. They make pretty decent money. I had a friend that ran it, and he ran 21-day fleet. He didn't go home every weekend with them, but he ran the 21-day fleet with Kellogg, and he was doing 12 to 13,000 miles a month with Kellogg. Now, he's a pretty hard driver, and he knows how to work his clock. So if you're a hard driver and you know how to work your clock, I'm sure you can do it too. Georgia Pacific, I personally don't know a whole lot about them. I don't believe I've ever even talked to a driver on the Georgia Pacific fleet. I know of them from hearing them, talk about them in the office. But there's a Georgia Pacific fleet. I believe they're out of Indianapolis, and I think they only run the states that touch Indiana. Don't quote me on that. Might be more than that, but that's from what I hear. We have a container fleet in South Carolina. Same thing. I think it's South Carolina, maybe North Carolina. But there's a container fleet over there. I believe those drivers go home daily or every couple of days. And I think they run containers out of the port. I've seen them when I've been down there, but I've never been able to catch one where I can talk to them and find out any information about their fleet. It's kind of one of them things. But that fleet is there. It is an option if that's what you're into. Mid-South. We have what we call a Mid-South fleet. Basically what that is the Midwest and the South. It's Texas, Oklahoma, Colorado, Kansas. I believe they even go as high as southern Minnesota. So I think New Mexico, Louisiana, Arkansas, Midwest and the South. Those drivers there, I don't know what their home time is or what their pay is. Now, all these fleets have different pays. So it varies depending on what you're doing. OTR, I know what their pay is because that's what I do. But all these fleets are a little bit different. But I'm going to post a direct line to a recruiter down in the description. So if you want to call and ask them, I'll put Jessica's number down there. You just press the down arrow. It'll give you the description of the video. And in there will be Jessica's direct line. So if one of these fleets interests you, give her a call and ask her whatever information you're wanting to know above and beyond what I'm telling you. I really don't want to put a price with them anyway. I think I kind of know what they make, but I don't want to because I may be wrong, and I don't want to tell you guys wrong. You guys and girls wrong. We have a Southeast fleet. It's going to be Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, Mississippi, Alabama, that whole southeast region right there. They may even go in the bottom part of Virginia. I hardly ever haul a load to Florida because we have Southeast fleet takes care of it, and I kind of miss that, so if you don't want to be on the Southeast fleet, you're not going to hurt my feelings at all, because I'd really like to start being able to run Florida again. I miss going down to Tampa. I got some good friends down there. Anyway, but that's the Southeast fleet. Another fleet we have is the Northeast fleet. That's going to be the New England area, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York. Now, we don't have a lot of New York City freight. I've been with Crete a long time, and I've never hauled a load into New York City. They've never even tried to give me a load into New York City. Now, I'm on the dry box side. It may be different on the reefer side, because as you know, a lot of reefer freight goes into the city. Hunts Point, and etc. But that's a question you can ask Jessica if you're interested in that fleet. She'll be able to answer that and tell you if there is even any New York City freight. But I don't think there is. Another one is the West Coast fleet. We have a West Coast fleet. I've met drivers on it. I've met them out in Salt Lake City, and I've met them in California. Those guys live out there. I don't think they'll put anybody on that fleet that doesn't live out there. I believe they run 42 days at a time, but I'm not 100% certain on that. the couple of drivers I've met on that fleet, we're running 42 days. We have West Coast freight, like far west, Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Utah, California, Arizona. We do have freight out there, and I go out there all the time, but we don't have enough to put our whole fleet out there. So that West Coast fleet is probably one of our smallest regional fleets. Now, these next ones I'm going to tell you about are fleets I've heard of from other drivers, not from anybody in the office, so I don't know if they exist, but it's a possibility. Frito-Lay. I've heard we got drivers that's all they run is Frito-Lay. Not 100% certain on that. You'd have to ask Jessica about that as well. And Duncanville Cabinets. I've heard we have drivers that are dedicated, and that's all they run is Duncanville Cabinets. That's out of the Dallas area. Those are multi-stop loads, and they're all drive or unload. I've ran Duncanville Cabinets. It's nice. It ain't bad. The only thing that sucks about it is you got to pull all the cabinets and everything to the back of the truck and help them get it down on the ground. And they normally deliver to construction sites. It would make sense if Crete did have a dedicated fleet doing it, covering most of that freight. Because as you know, most drivers don't want to unload their own trucks. We do get paid extra for it, and to me it's worth it, but to you it may not be. So I'm sure a lot of drivers don't want to haul that freight. My memory's bad because I'm old, so I have to write all this stuff down so I don't forget a fleet. Anyway, that's the update. If you go into my other video, if you can hear it, there might be a little bit more information, or maybe I missed something in this video. But there's another video that I did about our dedicated and regional fleets. But I can tell you something that I love about Crete, and one of the reasons that I like it here. I run OTR, and I run 21-day OTR. But let's say tomorrow they do something and it makes me mad, and I decide I'm done. I can totally change up everything at Crete and never leave Crete. All I got to do is call my terminal and tell them, hey, I want to go to Mid-South. I want to go on a regional fleet. Or I want to go on Kellogg. Or whatever. And it literally takes 20 minutes. And I can change fleets. So it's a lot like quitting without actually quitting. If you know what I mean. I can still keep my retirement, still keep my pay, still do my thing, and never have to quit Crete. I'll have a different dispatcher, So if I didn't like my dispatcher or something like that, I ain't got to deal with them on changing dispatchers. I just change fleets. Now, I've never done it. I know other drivers who have. But I like knowing that option's there, I don't have to quit and go to another company and go through orientation and all that crap and learn somebody else's patterns and ways and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, like I said, my CB handle's Snapper. That's also my nickname, Snapper or Old Snapper. You can find me on Facebook, Morgan Colt Buckley. Now I do post political stuff on my personal Facebook, so but I'm not someone who believes everybody should think the same. So don't think that if you do come find me on Facebook, don't think you have to agree with me, because you don't. We're all different. Even within a family, we can all be different. You can also find me on Instagram, morgan.buckley.336, and then of course my YouTube channel here. If you see me in a truck stop or you see me out and about, stop and say what's up, man. I love hearing from y'all. I love getting feedback, both good and bad. If there's a particular topic you're wanting to hear about, or something you like hearing about from a decade ago, let me know. I got some interesting stories, man. There's been some things happen over the years out here. I remember when the lot lizards were everywhere and it was hard to get a full night's sleep, as I'm sure a lot of you old timers remember. I remember when every truck was a manual, you know. A lot has changed over the years, some of it for the better and some of it for the worst. But one thing that hasn't changed is we're all a family. And I don't, you know, I'm from South Texas. I don't care if you're from inner city Chicago. You drive a truck, you know, I still consider you family. And if you're backing in around me and looks like you're having a hard time, you might be tired, I'm gonna hop out there and help you. You know, at least make sure you don't hit something. Help you get in there so you can get some rest, man. We stand up for each other, we stick up for each other, and we help each other, because that's what it's all about. Y'all stay safe. Try to keep it between the lines. Don't put it in the ditch. Let's enjoy this summer and enjoy life in general, man. Enjoy some of that time off, going fishing and hunting and doing whatever it is you like to do. Take care and keep trucking.